Hello, and it is a beautiful day in Gary, Indiana. A lot happening in the city, and I like it that way. We are broadcasting live from the Gary Public Library, and I'm here with one of my favorites, Lori Kirkendall of the Gary Literacy Coalition. Lori, for so many weeks, we have been pushing and promoting and letting everybody know that today we will be giving out tons and tons of books to the community for 5 hours straight. You've been at it since 10 a.m.
Yes.
First, give me a recap on how this morning was and then what's going to happen for the remainder of the day.
Well, actually this morning I was so pleased because there were people waiting at the door at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
And so 10 in the first 2 hours or so, we had a lot of people in here giving away books. Now, we're running down to our last 2 hours, and I still have more books to give. So please come back and give us that last, before we leave out, big push.
I believe it's coming. So you have some people who have gone to choir rehearsal, gone to get their hair done, gone to run their errands, and now they are headed to the main branch of the Gary Public Library, right? You can enter in from the rear. Now, right now, you and I are holding up books. I asked you to grab a couple of your favorites because I want you to realize, everybody who's watching, that this is not just for children. We have books here today for all ages as we continue our quest to make Gary a what?
A reading city.
Yes, so I picked mine. Can I go first, Lori?
Go ahead.
I am holding one of the most amazing autobiographies ever written. It is Succeeding Against the Odds, the autobiography of John H. Johnson, founder of Johnson Publishing Company. He borrowed $500 against his mother's furniture to start a multi-million-dollar company, of which I worked for 5 years.
Wow.
So I'm so proud. This book lives on my coffee table. So I'm going to put this back for those of you who are watching. You better come in here and get it free of charge. All these nuggets of knowledge,
yes,
wisdom. He was an amazing man. May God rest his soul. Your turn, Lori.
All right. Well, every book in here, and probably the majority of them I've read, so to narrow it down to my favorite, I can't even, but I did grab two that I think are important reads for the community.
Okay.
And the first one is Reading Changed My Life.
Okay.
And this is just a great book that has different testimonials on how people who had low literacy skills or stopped doing something because of their lack of literacy skills, and they overcame it because they got back in, they started reading, and it changed their life. So this really speaks to me when I think about people that are out there. It's not too late. It's not too late, and that increasing your literacy skills, reading, can change your life phenomenally. This is just a good read, a
who is
real
that by?
good read. This is by Beth Johnson.
Okay.
And his reading has changed my life. 4 testimonials of different people going through trials and tribulations and made a change in their life for the positive because they started reading.
Excellent.
And the other one, I always have to talk about my favorite person in the whole entire world, Barack Obama. And I do have a few more, and they're going really fast. So if you want to read about Barack Obama, although we think we know everything about him, the background story of this man is amazing as well, just as it is for John Johnson. So these two are really good reads. Come on down while I still have some copies here to give out.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about the history of the Gary Literacy Coalition. Born in a partnership with Methodist Hospital. We know the story. You tell them.
Well, Gary Literacy Coalition, our founder is pediatrician Dr. Steve Simpson. The need for early literacy with children, this is where that came from. And then it blew up into something that is now citywide. And we are partners with Methodist Hospital, which understands the importance of literacy with health. We work with Chase Bank with health, financial literacy, because that is an important part of building up our community. Because what we want to do, and the underlying part of our mission, is to make Gary not only a reading city, but this makes us a better city.
It does.
Because when we can read and understand and comprehend, we have command over our lives, over our health life, over our financial life, over our lives, because knowledge is power.
One of the things I always love that you talk about when you express the importance of being literate is how it impacts our day-to-day living.
Yes.
Your prescriptions, being able to read to make sure you're taking the right dosage of something, taking tests.
Yes.
If you need to take a driver's test, you need to be able to read to read the manual to study. There are just so many things that in common everyday life, how important literacy is. And I can't help but mention your various partnerships with other organizations, one being the Gary Community School Corporation.
Absolutely.
You go into various schools.
Yes.
Now that, some of the COVID restrictions, when they're lifted, you're able to go in, have your volunteers come in, read to young people. Talk a little bit about your partnerships in the community.
Our partnership with the schools in the community, especially with Gary Community School Corporation, is to be a support system for our education system. You heard the old adage, it takes a village to raise a child. We are part of that village. And so we come in to supplement and to add on, not to take away or to overtake what's already happening in our school district. And our teachers and our school district need this help. So we come in and we read to the children. We provide kids with books. So not only do they have books in their library as class, but they also get to take books home and then start their own personal library. Because if there is a book in the home, it's been said that if kids will pick up and read it.
Yeah.
So get a book in your house so that your child is there, and most likely you'll pick it up and you'll start to read it too. And then once you get reading, it's really hard to, you get hooked.
Yeah.
You get hooked. And so we go in, we do national initiatives, and we do targeted programs at certain schools, and we help to build classroom libraries for some of our teachers. Those are just some of the few things that we have partnership with the Gary Community School Corporation in order to, again, be a part of that village to help raise the kids and raise our community.
You are so passionate about this. I want to take the time to shout out your predecessor.
Yes.
Ira Twyman spent 2 decades, 20 years at the helm of the Gary Literacy Coalition. She let us know she was going into the sunset of her career. She turned it over into capable hands. As you have completed more than a year of a tenure, what would you say to Ms. Twyman if she's watching?
Oh, I talk to Ms. Twyman all the time. But she's just a phenomenal person. To know her is to love her. She's a wealth of knowledge. She's a good person, and she's good for the community. She's good for the world.
Yes.
And so I just want to thank her for just being who she is and the things that she exposed me to, and to give me an opportunity to be a part of something that she helped give birth to. And so always props to Mrs. Twyman for everything that she does and still continues to do a little bit, because I'm always in her ear when I'm not quite sure. I got 20 years of experience. Use it. She says, don't ever think that it's not okay to call me. If you need, just call. And I do.
I just love her. I want to make the community aware. If you're just tuning in, we're at the Gary Public Library right here on 5th Avenue. We'll be here till 3 o'clock. Come get your free books. It's a great field trip for the kids. There are some children, believe it or not, who have never been inside of the Gary Public Library. So this is a twofer.
Yes, it is. We have a wonderful partnership with the Gary Public Library. It only makes sense.
Yes.
It only makes sense to get people into the library, to partner with the library, because we're about the same mission, about getting people to read and making opportunities in our community where people have access to literacy content, books, awareness, and everything else that's going on out there.
Yes.
It's just a resource and a beacon in the community. Let's get back to that light.
Okay. And I want to remind you, if you happen to miss today, don't despair. That partnership that we talked about lives on. And this coming week, the Gary Literacy Coalition will be our special guest at the Gary Community School Corporation for its annual enrollment fair, July 28th and July 29th. Come on over to Westside Leadership Academy, 900 Jerry Street in Gary, Indiana. On Thursday, we will be there from 12 noon to 5 p.m. And on Friday, we will be there from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You'll have a table with lots of books and information. 2 tables. Now, 2 more things. There's somebody watching who wants to get involved. I know they're out there. They want to volunteer. They want to read. What do they need to do?
They need to just contact our office. Call our office at area code 219-885-2229, or like us on Facebook, or visit us at GaryLiteracyCoalition.org. There's all opportunities to come in, donate and also volunteer once, or a regular. We have regular volunteers.
They're here today.
They're here today. This is my crew, people.
Yes, I see your crew is everywhere.
And so we're always looking for more people. If you're literacy aware minded and you want to come back and give something to the community, come on out. have a good time, spread your knowledge too of what you may know, and help the Gary Literacy Coalition help spread knowledge to our community.
I will add to that if you're an organization that's having an event and you'd like the Gary Literacy Coalition to come out with books, you do that as well, right?
Yes, any non-for-profit organization or school, we do take requests for you to come out and do books or donate books. We do not do for-profit, but we will do schools and we do non-for-profit organizations. Just write us a letter on letterhead and give us about a 2 to 3 week notice so I can make sure we have the right kind of books for you when we come out, and that we have enough books for you to come out, because they are constantly going fast out of our office.
Yes.
Again, just give me a call, 219-885-2229. Like us on Facebook and check out our website at GaryLiteracyCoalition.org.
And now I'm saving the best for last. It's like we say at church, it's time to give. It's time to pass the plate. In order to do all of these amazing things that your organization does, we need donations. I'm saying it. We need donations to get these brand new books, because they do not pass out used books. For the record, we're not accepting donations where you decide you want to clean your basement out on a Saturday and say, I have 30 books from 1925 that I want to give you. No, these are brand new books. And so, if we want to give, I know you've given the website and everything, but it never hurts. Repetition is power.
Go back to you can always write us a letter and send us a check.
I was
send
letting
us
you.
a check to our office. We're located at 650 Grant Street, Suite 8 in Gary, Indiana, 46404. That's located on the Methodist campus, North Lake Hospital. Or you can also go through our PayPal at our website at GaryLiteracyCoalition.org.
Yeah, so you could just stop by with the check.
That would be
just
good.
Pull up, as the
Yes.
young people say.
Yes.
Pull up with the check. You have been watching. Didn't know I was hip like that. We are here broadcasting live at the Gary Public Library. I am here with Executive Director Lori Kirkendall and all of her amazing volunteers. All we need is you.
Yes.
We are here till 3 o'clock. Bring the children out. Adults, there are books for you as well. And together, we will make Gary a reading city. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.